This was never the plan. The only experience I had in F&B was drinking. But F&B is an industry where, it sucks you in. The concept of Olivia is not fine dining, it is fun dining. In our industry, in the F&B industry, people will change jobs for $100 increment. We are collapsing. We have collapsed.
Because it takes energy and effort to train the staff.
You might think you are the smartest thing since sliced bread, but the world doesn't think so.
Hello and welcome to the Dreamcatchers Show Season 2, where we capture inspiring stories one dream at a time. Hosted by your very own Shalima Motial. Powered by The Resilient Investor. Associate sponsors Ritika, your health coach. Knowledge partners Global Indian International School. Restaurant partners Olivia Restaurant, Noah by Olivia, Cake by Olivia. Supported by JQ Yachts. Media partners Crazy Talk. Hair and makeup by Chandni Sahu. And as promised, again on our couch today, we have someone very inspiring. We have with us a visionary entrepreneur and seasoned investment expert with over 25 years of experience in Asia's financial landscape. As the CEO and co-owner of the Olivia Hospitality Group, Sandeep Dhingra has successfully led the expansion of renowned establishments such as Olivia Restaurant, Noah by Olivia, and Cake by Olivia, Singapore's celebrated cheesecake destinations. You won't believe this, but there are people who come all the way from Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, just to try these special cheesecakes. And guess what? We're gonna try them at our show today. We're super excited about that. And his journey from investment banking to culinary entrepreneurship is a testament to his innovative spirit and dedication to excellence. Welcome to the show, Sandeep.
Thank you, Shalima. Thank you for inviting me.
Lovely. Let's start then. So let's start with what inspired your transition from a successful career in finance and asset management to becoming a restaurateur in Singapore.
I think this was never the plan.
Okay.
So the whole restaurant came to me as an investment. So as part of my normal work, I am always looking at investment opportunities. And it so happened that this also came up as an investment opportunity. So my partner in the business is a lady called Jessica. She runs an accounting firm. So she mentioned to me at one point that, if we want to get into F&B, we should buy a stake in Olivia when it becomes available. So that conversation happened, one day, and we never talked about it for several months after that. Okay. So then she came to me one day and said, "Look, looks like there's an opportunity to do something with Olivia Group." Okay. So we spoke with the chef at that time, and what we started off as, we said, okay, we will set up a new restaurant with you, which was the plan to set up Noah. Okay. So we got talking on that, and at some point I mentioned to him that, I said, you are interests will be conflicted. You will be at Noah and Olivia. How do you manage the balance? So maybe it makes sense for us to buy Olivia and we do it within Olivia, the new investment that you're planning.
Interesting.
Then we started talking to the owners of Olivia, who were a group based out of Spain. And we spent, I think, 7 or 8 months negotiating, finalizing the transaction before we closed it. So we finally closed it in end of 2022. So
2022, okay.
1st December 22 is when we officially took over.
Wow, okay.
The group.
Right.
At that time, we had Olivia Restaurant, and they had a small cake shop, which was just a few months old, and they were just experimenting with the cake business.
Right.
So that's how I got into it. The plan was never to be an active manager of the business. It was always supposed to be a passive investment, like I have several other investments, but F&B is a unusual kind of an industry where it, you know, it sucks you in over time.
Yeah, because you had no experience of F&B, right?
Yes, and as my wife always reminds me, the only experience I had in F&B was drinking. So I knew a lot about drinking and the bar and how that stock was. Beyond that, I knew very little.
Right.
So first 6 months, 9 months, I was pretty hands off. So I like to watch, you know, from a distance, understand the business, and then see where you get involved. And after that, gradually you got more involved in the business.
Right. How did she narrow down on Olivia?
That's a great question. So Jessica is an accountant, and she does accounts for a large number of companies in Singapore. And she was the accountant for Olivia from day one. So she had a very good understanding of nobody had a better understanding of Olivia's accounts than she did.
Of course, right.
Got
So you
involved.
kind of knew that, okay, this is a successful venture that you're investing into. However, you did have no experience of F&B, but you had the confidence that it'll work. So now tell me that how did your experience in running corporate world influence your approach to running a restaurant? Because eventually 6 to 9 months down the line, you did start managing the operations as well, right?
See, you know, end of the day, over time, what I've learned is every business is about asking the right questions, about common sense. Everything finally culminates into sales and profits. Now, everything else is a means to get to these numbers. So it's not that difficult. I mean, over time, you know, as you learn, it's just about, if you don't know anything, ask. I'm not afraid to ask questions. And the other thing we've done well is we've not been afraid to take a risk. You know, if, for example, if something is not working, it needs to be changed, we've changed it. So a few guiding principles we always use. One is, for us, it's always very important to do the right thing. You have to have the right moral values running the business. You know, there's a lot of things in F&B which can be a little, you know, areas which can be gray, but we are very, very clear we want to be doing the right things. We want to run the business very transparently, and we want to run it much more process based. So for everything there is a process. I'm trying to make it, simplify it to a level that people should not be asking, they know what to expect. They know what is expected from them, and they know how
It's all transparent.
make it as transparent as possible.
So what I hear you say is that take risks, don't be afraid to ask questions, right? So don't be a Mr. Know-it-all. That's when you can, you know, shift industries and then have a very transparent system of working within the organization.
See, also remember, businesses never perform the way you plan them to perform.
Absolutely, yes.
To give you an example, when we started, we thought, so the restaurants were the big part of the business. The cake business was really small. It was almost insignificant. And all our plans were mainly along the restaurant businesses. And then we started noticing that the cake business started doing much better. So then we pivoted that, and we focused a lot of our energies on expansion of the cake business. Again, it's a new business. Even within F&B, it's new. You know, bakeries are different. Equipment is different. The kind of people you need is different. So it's another new skill within the new skill.
Right, yeah, beautiful. So what were the initial bigger challenges when you moved from this industry to the other industry, which is like, oh, this never happened in the finance industry, which is now happening in F&B, right?
No, I think the biggest change, I would say, is the people you work with. So I spent, 10 years plus in investment banking, most of that with JP Morgan, and then several different asset management firms. So you're used to meeting people of a certain type, people of a certain profile. They talk a certain language. When you move to this industry, it's totally different. People think differently. People their whole world outlook is very, very different.
Oh, interesting.
And even
Explain.
within that, like the chef team is very different. The front of house, as you call it, the people you see when you go to a restaurant, they think very differently. The chef teams are, interestingly, they are more creative people. They care about the skill, the way they work, the preparations. So they are not, so they are very sensitive to the fact that if you think that creativity isn't
Good enough.
good enough, or if you're too critical, they can get very, very sensitive to those things. So you need to be a little more aware of that. The floor staff is a little more rough and tough because they deal with all sorts of customers on a day-to-day basis. So they're very different. So there's always a conflict between these two sides also within any F&B outlet. So, and you need different strokes for different folks, as they say. Yeah. So the profile is very different. In our industry, in the F&B industry, people will change jobs for $100 increment, $200 increment. So how do you really create a stable team? In a company when you have such high turnover, attrition rate.
Because it takes energy and effort to train
Because
the staff.
everybody comes, you have to train them.
Right.
It takes months. By the time they're there, then if they leave, then it's a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
So we've got very stable manpower, especially on our kitchen side has been extremely stable. I think we've rarely ever lost any people there.
Okay. So now tell me something. These three different restaurants we've been talking about, the conceptualization already happened with Olivia, right? When you acquired it.
Yeah.
How did you conceptualize Noah and then Cake to become so big? And what are the unique experiences each of them offer?
Yeah, so see, Olivia was already established when we took it over. So Olivia was Olivia's Spanish food, and quite honestly, I didn't know much about Spanish food itself. But one of the things, one of the things I do is I observe people's behavior. I observe or I ask questions about, what people like about this and what people dislike about a restaurant. So one of the points in Olivia which struck me was one of my close friends who's a foodie and who's always out. He and his wife are always out trying out different restaurants. So they said, what is different in Olivia is, and this is something that stayed with me. So they said, when you go to a restaurant, you have dishes which are fantastic. There are dishes which are good, they are average, and which are
Not so
okay.
good. Huh.
So the problem in Olivia is that everything is in the fantastic or great.
Okay.
So we cannot find anything which is not wow in the whole menu. So that's something which really struck me.
That's a
And
lovely
then,
problem to have, no?
so yeah, so so the reason for that is then when you dig deeper and find out why is it so. I think because we do three things well. One is it comes on the ingredient sourcing. So we have I have a Spanish lady who is my head of my cake business and sourcing. She does all the sourcing for us. So she always makes sure we get the right ingredients at the right price. If the quality changes, she will shift suppliers. She will constantly monitor this.
Right, and it's easily available in Singapore.
Yeah, some things are a little harder, some are easier, but generally she's mapped out the whole landscape here. The second thing is the preparation system that we use. So we use a two-tier preparation system. So we do a production process system and a finishing process in the main kitchen. So what it means is the specifications are always very, very exact. Okay. So what you will see in Olivia every time is you will get the same taste and the same quality every single time. There's no variation.
Oh, that's lovely, because sometimes, when I visit that restaurant, I'm craving the taste I'm used to. And then you go and feel like, oh, it wasn't that good today. And you feel like, oh, maybe the chef wasn't in a good mood, right? So that shouldn't be the case.
So yeah, so that's the whole idea. So it's the sourcing, processing, finishing. So divide that into.
Right.
So which is why Olivia is extraordinary. And I think in a lot of ways it redefined how Spanish food in Singapore. I mean, I see my competitors, a lot of respect for everyone, but I think we are a cult.
Yeah, the reviews are fantastic.
We do things better than most, is
Right.
what we
Right.
think. So when we set up Noah, the idea was how do we move beyond pure Spanish. So the concept there was move more Mediterranean, coastal Mediterranean. So it's Southern Europe, Northern Africa. So they've kind of combined a lot of flavors, colors from these places to, to create a menu.
The reviews also specifically mentioned the service orientation of the staff,
Yes.
which is another very important aspect of any restaurant doing well. You could have like the best of food, but if the staff is not serving you with a smile and the warmth, you don't want to go to that place again,
Yeah,
right?
no, thank you for bringing that up. I
Yeah.
should have said that right at the beginning, but that's one of our hallmarks. See, the concept of Olivia is not fine dining, it is fun dining.
Oh, lovely.
So we have fine dining in a fun atmosphere. So that's the whole concept. Our floor staff is extremely good. They will know most of their customers well. They would have, they would review the bookings beforehand, seeing what people are, if there's any special issue, anything, there's any requests, make sure we cater to that. And always, the focus is always on making sure the experience is something people like. So, and that's really the constant feedback we get is the experience services.
That personal
It's really
touch
good.
and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. And now talking about cake.
Cake's actually the most interesting story. So the genesis of this was the cheesecake was on the menu of Olivia, and so every Spanish restaurant will have a Basque burnt cheesecake. It's the standard dessert in Spain, and it's a very standard recipe, hundreds of years old. So there's no rocket science there. So what my cake team lady Selena, who's Olivia's mother, so just
Okay.
to get the context on Olivia. So over several months and years, we've kind of they changed the recipe to make it more Asian friendly, so to speak. So making it not making it less sweet as compared to what a normal Basque burnt cheesecake is. So they've added some blue cheese to get a little saltiness, making it a little more harder crust, so it makes it more, crunchy. So we reached a point that people started really liking the cakes. So Selena felt that we've reached where it should be, and it became really popular. So we used to notice a lot of people would come to Olivia just for the cheesecake. And take up a table, have a cheesecake, maybe have a drink, maybe not. So the call for us was, it's wasting table space.
Yeah.
People come and only eat a cheesecake, it's not good enough. So we said, why don't you open a cheesecake shop? So that's what the previous team did end of 2021. Opened the cheesecake shop. They used to run it, I think, 4 days a week. So nothing really happened. I mean, it was okay. Some orders would come in, few orders every day, and so we put it in the same place where we had office rental space. We converted part of it into a cheesecake shop in Creta. So all this started changing in end of 2022 when, for the first time, there was a TikTok video done by a Indonesian lady which said, "I flew to Singapore just for this.
Wow.
The best."
And this was organic,
cheesecake."
obviously.
Totally organic.
Okay.
Best cheesecake or cheese that I've ever had. I fell in love with cheese, and Cake by Olivia, 10 on 10. And so we started seeing a little more, interest coming from tourists after that. And then part of my learning, I learned marketing as well. So UGC, as they call it, user-generated
Yeah,
content.
absolutely,
So
yeah.
as more UGC was created, we started getting more and more visibility. And so when Jessica and I took over this business, we invested more in marketing, social media. Uh, we started following trends on when these things do well, when they, what's been driving demand. So obviously, when you have Christmas or Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, you'll see a big surge in demand. But then we also started noticing another interesting phenomenon, that whenever you had concerts in Singapore, we would see a surge in demand.
Oh, because people are visiting.
And we also noticed that most of our customer base was young women. So, 16, 18 to 30 is probably the range, which is probably 75% of our client base. So last year when you saw the Taylor Swift concerts in Singapore, so we did see a big surge in demand at that point. Our expectation was that we'll see a surge and demand will plateau off, but it never plateaued off. It just kept going.
Oh, that's lovely. Congratulations. And that's the reason I think we also connected, that why just rely on tourists? Let's have everyone in Singapore try these cakes as well.
So that's when we, so then my team, which, to be honest, did an incredible job. You've seen the shop. It's a small shop. We had a small kitchen behind that. And with limited capacity, they were able to increase production 3, 4, 5 times in just that small space. So we got to a point where, one day they said, boss, we are collapsing. We have collapsed. So I said, okay, and then we said, okay, let's do the next bit of the planning. This is a conversation we had, I think, same time last year, March, April last year. So at that point, we had just that one store. From then to now, we've got, we built a central kitchen just for cheesecakes.
Whoa.
And we built 3, now we have 2 more stores.
And where are they?
One store is in Scott Square in Orchard, and one's in Jewel Changi. We just opened Jewel
That's
Changi.
the new one, right?
That's the new one.
Lovely. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. So there's a lot of work in this. See, Singapore's a tough market when it comes to finding the right space at the right time, at the right price. So from finding the spaces to doing the fit outs to negotiating with landlords to, making sure all the regulatory approvals are in place in time is what's been our focus. And the teams have been great. I mean, they've been, very supportive, they run it. See, the difference between us is my teams run it as if it's their own.
That's beautiful.
They're so involved in the whole process.
Right.
So my pastry team chef has actually designed the whole kitchen, almost inch by inch. This is how the flow will be, this is how we're going to do, this is what equipment I need, this is what then obviously I sit down and we discuss it, and I ask the questions, are you sure you need this? Are you sure you need 3 machines? Can we do it 2? Can we do it? And finally reach a conclusion, and then we...
Right, no, but they also feel empowered because of your confidence in them.
Yeah.
And that's how probably they stay on longer, right?
Exactly.
Because it's a both-way stream. You show that confidence in their capability, and then they want to prove themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win situation, right?
So
you've mentioned Jessica Howe's name a couple of times now. So how important are partnerships in building a brand?
I think that's a very, very important question. I think partnerships are extremely hard. In life, in business, partnerships are typically very hard to maintain. So, look, we argue about things, we disagree about things, but I think we have a very clear understanding is that, look, as we always tell each other, is that our goals are the same for the business. And the other thing is, what we try and do is, see, we don't try and delve so much in the past about you said this and I said this and this went wrong or this went right. We try and focus on
right.
solving the problem.
Right.
I think we have a great, understanding. I think we have a lot of mutual respect for each other. I think she's one of the hardest working people I know in my life. She's, every other night I have to tell her, Jessica, please go to sleep. So she doesn't seem to want to get any sleep.
Right.
She probably wants to move at a pace which is much faster, but I'm trying, I try to be a little more.
So you balance each other well.
So
that's nice. Okay, that's good to hear. So you have expanded now, and there's Jewel that's opened up recently. What are your further expansion plans within Singapore? And I believe there is something about overseas expansion as well, right?
So, good question, because this is something which is top of our mind right now.
Okay.
So there is, these things work in 2-3 ways, right? So we've tried to be cautious because our business is all self-funded. We've never taken any external capital. So it's very simple structure: 2 shareholders, 50% ownership. There's no complexity here. So I'm always of the opinion, let's not do something which turns out to be a mistake.
Right.
And then, because in F&B you can make a mistake very easily. You sign the wrong lease, and or you get your renovation contract just doesn't get done the way you want it to be done. Overruns for 3 months, 6 months, business can just fall apart. So we want to be careful. The challenges, I'll tell you, is the finding a good size space in a central location is extremely hard.
And for a longer term, right?
Yes. So we managed to find a good place in the center of town, somewhere around Paya Lebar, where there's this new food district, and a very good size space. So we've fitted out the kitchen really well, made sure that's stable. Another 2 months, month and a half later, we opened Scott's. Then we have to figure out the logistics of serving multiple stores, and because you have to transport the product every day. And then the third thing we did was we started expanding the product slate.
Right. There's some caramel flavor as
We
well.
have now 14 types of
Ooh,
cheesecake.
really?
In Jewel, we just launched the Dubai chocolate cheesecake, the viral
Fantastic.
product in the Dubai chocolate.
Yeah,
So it's the same
there's
thing.
that kunafe thing.
the
Yeah,
pistachio.
yeah.
So we've launched it only in Jewel so far. It's sold out every day.
Interesting.
And, so now we figured out, okay, kitchen location. Now we're adding a little bit more capacity to increase production. 3 locations, logistics, delivery schedules, everything. We've kind of think our model works. Before Jewel opened, so our view was like we'll go one at a time, not open 10 stores at one go. So looking at how Jewel has done recently, I think there's more room in Singapore. So we'll probably look at 1 or 2 stores more in Singapore.
And then go overseas?
Simultaneously explore.
Okay.
As we go overseas, I think the challenge and the advantage we have is, I think one is our brand is known. So I'll give you an example. I talked to you about Indonesia. Now suddenly what we are seeing is a lot of Thai celebrities are visiting our stores and posting videos, and which are getting thousands of views, in quick time. So anyone I speak to in Bangkok that we're looking at this, they know us.
Oh, nice.
So the brand is very well known. So I think we've got a brand pull in most of these markets. Now it's a question of deciding where we go. So whether it's Bangkok or Jakarta or KL.
But through our conversation, I figured that you're full time into this, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, see, one of the things I tell Jessica, and we talk also, is that either I get involved or I don't get involved.
Right.
If
There's
I get
no
involved,
half-hearted.
if I'm involved, I'm fully involved. If I'm not involved,
Right.
like a lot of my other investments are passive, right? I talk to them once in a couple of months, get an update, move on. So
Right.
this is not one of those.
I know.
We are very popular in Hong Kong, Shanghai, Tokyo, Seoul. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know where we go, but I think we will make an attempt in a couple of locations within this year, 2025. Yeah. Now, in what shape or form, we don't know yet. So I think in a lot of ways, the brand is unique. So what we are able to do is we are able to move high volumes at a premium price in the cake business.
Right.
So it's a unique combination to have in many ways. Not many people can do. Many brands have done that. We are fortunate. We think we are
Out
able
of the
to do
box,
that.
and yeah.
So the other thing we have to do is expand our product mix a lot more. So what we've done is, I mentioned to you about Dubai chocolate cheesecake. There's so for every special event, we do something special, right? For Valentine's Day, we did a Valentine's Day special. For Christmas, we do a Christmas cake. For Mother's Day, we did a collaboration with Laderack, the Swiss chocolate company. So they came to us and they said, can we do a co-branded product? So we used their chocolate and created a cheesecake with that, and they bundled it and with that pack of chocolates, and it was a Laderack and cake jointly joint product, and it's done extremely well. So because they had ordered a certain minimum quantity with an extra quantity if they needed, so they've done way beyond that, and so much so that we have none for our stores for the Mother's Day. But so that's the point being, we are doing more specialized partnership products, increase the product slate. We probably add 4 or 5 new products, expand the menus. So we'll keep expanding the product base. So the focus now is increase the product base and expand.
So my next question would be, when you're expanding your product base like that, like for instance, you just said 14 different cheesecakes now you have, how do you manage operational efficiency?
I would be lying if I told you I know.
Okay.
But
I like the honesty.
No, so I think coming back to the fact that our teams are very good.
Right.
So they are they plan things very, very meticulously. And so we break it up into a few silos. One is every new product, what's the capital equipment required? What's the, how much of the existing molds or equipment you can use, and what kind of volumes we can do. So we break that up, and then we decide on where to go next or not to go next. So most cakes, see, anything to do with cheese and baking cakes is not that different from what we do. So like for Christmas, we do a very standard, it's a Spanish Christmas cake. We make it with cheese and as well. So every year we've been doing the same kind of product. So people know what to expect.
And that's how one keeps growing, right?
Yeah.
By experimenting, by getting newer products on the shelf, so that people don't feel that, oh, okay, I've tried this, done, right? You're offering something new all the time with your expansion. So tell me something. You started off with finance, you ended up being a restaurateur. What was a 20-year-old Sandeep thinking? Was he thinking on these lines? I don't think so.
So I missed one of your questions. You said with all this, how much time do you spend?
Yes.
It's a great question. See, I don't go to my locations every day.
Okay.
So we do detailed management meetings once a week. So, review everything. And apart from that, it's more on a need basis. So it's not as if I'm there all the time, and some other suppliers say, oh, we bring this new wine, and are you going to be there? I said, no, I will not be there.
Okay.
Because I have other things, I'm doing other things during the day, so it's not always. And with technology, you don't have to physically be present in a location.
So you're able to maintain work-life balance.
Yeah. So it's fine. The business is quite hard. It's one of the harder businesses than most other things you will do. And the market in Singapore changes very quickly. So right now, as we speak, I think fine dining is struggling. Most people are experiencing, declining sales. So it's tough. It's a hard business, but takes up more mind space than physical time at the place. So it's okay. And historically, I've always been doing multiple things. So it's okay.
And you have the resilience. That is required, right? That's the most important ingredient to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. But now, sitting here in this position, having had the experience you've had, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self now at this point in time?
I'll tell you. So, my son's 23 now. So one of the things I always like to tell young people is that you should spend some years working with a large company. it gives you perspective, it gives you discipline, and gives you a grounding, so to speak. So I spent 10 plus years with JP Morgan. It gives you a real good grounding, real good base for what you want to do ahead. So after that, I've been a little more of a risk taker. I was moving from one startup fund to the next.
Right.
Some did really well, some didn't do as very well. So that's that's the way I am, I guess.
That's the way you are.
Yeah.
Right. So your message to your 20-year-old self or anyone watching who's 20-year-old right now is get grounding first, learn, and then go take
Then,
risk,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So have something in the bank to take risk with.
No, not just about the bank. It's you need to see, you need
And
to
experience,
know
of course.
how the world works.
Right, right.
You might think you are the smartest, thing since sliced bread, but the world doesn't think so. World doesn't need what you're doing. So you
Right.
need to get a little bit of, realistic, real grounding in life.
Right.
Is
And
what I feel.
what's your future plan? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
I have no idea, to be honest.
You're one day at a time kind
I
of a
don't
person?
think I expect to be running this business 10 years down the line.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
not part of the plan.
That's not part of the plan. Okay.
Will something else come up? Maybe. So I watch markets all the time, and I'm active in markets all the time. I'm probably trading every day, or these days I'm trading less thanks to Mr. Trump. But
Yes.
so that will always continue. So that part is.
So that's your passion that
Yeah.
continues,
Yeah,
right?
that will continue. Now,
Right.
whether we'll find something more, do more businesses, we'll see.
And my final question to you would be, what does success mean to you?
For me, it's about having built or done something which you can be proud of, and having lived up to your principles. Done things well, but done things right. See, all of us will do well enough in life, work hard, you'll make enough money, you'll be fine. But what you will remember your life for is having done well, but having done things right. Do the right things, and that's what will make you proud of yourself.
Absolutely. And with that, we will try the cheesecake that you got for us.
You must.
Yes, it was an absolute pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thanks. I mean, it's good impromptu chat.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for watching and tuning in. Stay tuned as we keep bringing inspiring personalities. This was Sandeep Dhingra, who left his fund job to start a fun job. And go try out the cheesecakes, 14 different varieties. Wow, you don't want to miss that out, right? Especially while you're in Singapore, people come from all over Asia to try those. And also go visit Olivia and Noah by Olivia and tell us how your experience was. And keep watching the Dreamcatchers show season 2 on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We share the blog there, and TikTok. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Signing off, Shalima Motial.
Totally excited to be here. This is
Lovely.
the first time I've spoken to anyone about
Is that
this
right?
business. Yeah.
Okay.
Before I got into Olivia, I didn't know that much about. See, we all hear about Spanish tapas and sangria and some things, but it's spotty.